bathrooms and toilets, and it hasn't gone as far as that yet, but obviously people have run with it, and now they're all saying, oh, you people like myself, we don't have a say like anymore because of what the government's ruled out. So it's just made it like a bully playground for trans people. Do you know what I mean? Thank you, everyone. Which just feels like we're just going backwards, to be honest with you, Vic, because I'm just like, most of us just want to get on and live our lives.
So you mean, let me get my head around this. So they mean to tell me, you see, to me, I forget that you're a trans woman. I forget. I just see Miss Faye. I don't see anybody else.
I've never had a problem, but you know, it was a bunch of ladies. J.K. Rowling sort of funded it. Scottish women that went up there protesting about it. Now, I completely understand women do deserve their rights. You fought really hard to get it, but I'm not here trying to impose on that. I'm always going to first and foremost be a trans woman. Do you get it? So I'm never going to sit there and impose on your rights. I'm all for, you know, women's rights. I'm all for empowering that, you know, because you went through so much to get where you are to this day. So I'm not trying to come down and take your rights away from you. That's the last thing I want to do. If anything, I want to stand beside you and push your rights even more. Do you get it? I'm not trying to like victimize women or anything like that. I'd never do anything like that, you know. Like, I see women as very empowering human beings. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. One of the main reasons I transitioned as well was because I wasn't happy with the gender I was assigned with, you know, like I felt there wasn't a connection to that gender personally. I always felt more of a connection to that side, but unfortunately I wasn't born like that. So, you know, there's nothing I could have done, do you know what I mean? But then I always tell myself...
Excuse me, 1 minute. Roger, whoever you are, do not come in here and start with that kind of attitude, because it doesn't wash in here, because this room is a kind room, and if you can't be kind, then you can't be anything. So it's not simple, it's your opinion. Your opinion counts, and that's fine. But please don't speak down to people. It's not accepted.
But yeah, it's just a hard time for a lot of people. It will all die down. But at the moment, I feel like people like me, we're very under the microscope, you know. Comments have been vile in my chat, but I've just chosen to ignore it. Because at the end of the day, Vic, I am who I am and I'm not changing. And I've never changed from the beginning of TikTok to the start now. I'm exactly the same. TikTok hasn't changed me. I'm still whether or not I've had amazing success on this app, which I have, and I'm very, very grateful for. But, you know, like, it's not changed me, you know, and I'm not going to fit myself in a box of what people want me to be, because at the end of the day, women as well, they come in all different shapes, sizes, act all different types of way, you know. So what about, you know, I was saying this a couple of days ago, what about, you know, your average, you know, out of the LGBT, the L, right? What about, like, you know, like a stud that's really like, is she not a woman? Do you get it? Like, if that's the way that people, they point the finger more on trans women, because we've got to like hold this title of what a woman is, but what is a woman? What defines a woman? Because women are all different. Do you get it?
Yeah, yeah.
And they are. Yeah, I've met women that are more masculine than me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Do you get it? I mean, but because they're biologically born that way, you know.
Half the time you look far more prettier than I do.
Stop it, you're gorgeous.
You've got better hair than me.
Thank you, and everyone else that tapped, thank you so much. But yeah, it's just, I didn't go to the protest because I didn't realise.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Chantal. Thank you, everybody. I just think it's just it's just a mess. And do you know what? I'm not being funny, but the fucking world's in a bad enough place. A bad enough state as it is. The UK's in a bad enough state as it is.
Yeah, and then they just want to, it's like they want to like create a divide, you know? But why us? That's what I don't understand, because we're a 0.5 population, the trans community. We're not a massive, you know what I mean? We're quite small, but as much as people think we're taking over the world, we're not, you know? You can look that up for yourself. And also, then what are they going to start doing if you want to start doing all of these things of what a woman is and stuff? What are they going to do when trans men start coming into the bathrooms then? You know, because if you really want to say it, biologically they were born female, right? So what happens when a trans man walks in with a full-on beard and a skinhead? But do you know what I mean? Like, these are the things. Do you get it? Like, that would be a problem as well.
I mean, would I be comfortable going in the toilet with you for a week? Yeah. If you were in a cubicle, I've
never had a problem. And do you know what? There was one time, and it was like, there was one time someone said, she went, oh, I don't think you should be it. She was an older lady. But I was like in my wig days, and it was like very early on in my transition. And I think to give it to some people, I suppose just give yourself a little time, but you know, until you're ready to use spaces like that, it's still nerve-wracking for anyone. Do you know what I mean? To first time I ever went to go away, I was like, oh my god, do you get it? And then sometimes you think like, oh, is everyone looking and stuff? But majority of people are not. You go on the toilet, go away, wash your hands, you go out. It's such a big subject, the toilet subject. It's crazy how much of that is there.
But you know what though? These days, I mean, there's a lot of places that are just unisex. Like,
But then there's also like, I'm not gonna say, but there's a few creators I go live with, and they're not trans, right? They're like pretty boys, and you know, and there's like videos of them like filming in women's toilet, like, and when you're seeing stuff like that, I get it, because I wouldn't want to film in the toilet. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, so there was one time I was like having a laugh and joke, but there was no one in there, and I made sure there was no one in there. Do you get what I mean? But I don't know. It's a complex situation, isn't it? And
it's a very, very complex situation. And you know what? It's a very complex situation. But I just feel that the world we live in is such a hard world anyway. And this is just, like you say, point half of the community.
But you know what? The thing is, most of us just want to live our life and get on. Like, but having this extra added stress from like the government, because it's spread all across the news and it's like worldwide, it's all over papers. Of course, at the moment, people like myself, we're under the microscope. Yesterday, I felt so nervous when I was out and about to even go. And normally, I didn't even have a pressure, but you know, like I felt, oh my god, like I don't know if I want to go in there. Do you get what I mean? And I've never felt like that. Just because I know that everyone is now more like looking at these sort of things because it's in the papers, it's on the news. Do you get what I mean? So people then will run with it. Do you get what I mean? Because it's out there for everyone to see, and the government have put it out there. People will run with it and spread the hate even more towards people like me for just living my life. You know.
It's mad because how would I feel about a trans man walking in the toilets with a full-on beard to go and have a wee in the cubicle next to me? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it gets better. I mean, nothing's been ruled out. Nothing's said to us that the only thing that's been ruled out is basically what defines a woman, and they're basically saying like, well, the chromosomes, like if you're biologically born that way, which is eradicated trans women, but they haven't put rules into place. It's everyone else has run with that, you know. The government have said, right, they can't use these spaces. That hasn't come out yet, but people are running with that, you know.
So the government haven't said that trans women can't use toilets, but that's what people are saying.
Yeah, people are running with that now. Like, well, if they're not biologically born that way and, you know, you want to erase us from womanhood, they shouldn't be using these spaces. They shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be there, you know? And we're saying, well, we're still human. Do you know what I mean? The process today, I believe, when they've gone up there, is to basically fight for the rights of who we are. And, you know, I haven't really looked into the process. Someone come in my chat today and told me about it. I didn't realise that it was at 1 o'clock, Leicester Square. They were all protesting, so I don't know how that's gone, but I didn't even know. Apparently someone said it was meant to happen tomorrow, not on Easter Sunday. Like, come on, bloody hell, give us a day. Do you know what I mean? We just create aggravation what we're doing on Easter Sunday. No, God's sake. But listen, I was going to call you Linda there. I was going to call you Linda.
Do you know what's crazier? Do you know what's crazier is the fact that there's a lot more pressing things in the UK that the government could be making ruling on than this. There's a lot more things that are ruining the country that we call home. And it ain't about trans people. There's a lot bigger things going on.
It's a distraction technique, isn't it? From what's actually...
Yeah, it is a distraction.
They picked on us.
I don't watch the news. This is why I don't watch the news.
And this is the thing, they're picking on a small community of people, an easy target, do you know what I mean, to distract people from what's actually going on in the real life, what's actually going on in reality, while they're all behind the scenes doing whatever they're doing, do you know what I mean? You know, so one of it was apparently Trump had been in contact with our government or something, and said that he wanted this bill to be passed in the UK as well, because it's all going off over there. So there's some people have said there's been money exchange, but I've not really looked into it too much, you know, because I'm like,
yeah, I don't I don't watch the news because it just winds me up, and I don't believe the news is real. I believe that the news tell you what they want you to see and not what they're actually like, not exactly what's going on. It usually is a scare tactic that something else is going on that they don't want you to see. I massively do believe that. So it makes me wonder what's actually going on, why all this is going on. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what right and wrong is. I don't really have an opinion one way or another. I don't really have an opinion on whether it's right or it's wrong. I just believe that everybody has a right to live how they want to live. And it doesn't matter what you were born or what you weren't born, what you might have been born or what you aren't born. It doesn't matter. We're all human at the end of the day.
Yeah. And that's the thing,
You know,
I've said that from the start, Vicky. If you cut me and cut you, we bleed the same colour, you know? Like, so it's just crazy to me how the government would want to divide. There's already a divide in the world anyway, you know, but we've come such a far away from having all this division, you know, like it feels like we're just stepping back in times, you know, but it's a sad place at the moment for a lot of people, you know, especially like, you know, the girls that have gone through the full surgeries and stuff like that. Can you imagine how they feel, you know, like it's an emotional journey.
I mean, like, so basically, if you've gone through the whole surgery,
they're still saying, that they're not.
You've still got to go to a man's toilets, even though
well, that has not actually been ruled out yet, but they, you know, people are running with that objective because they're basically saying, well, you know, they've ruled out what an actual woman is and you're not. Do you get what I mean?
So hang on a minute. That conversation there, Chelsea, it's to protect women and kids. Why? So me being a straight, what am I? Heterosexual woman. What am I? Biological woman. I've got to think what I am at this point. The kids are safe with me. How do you know that? I mean, they are, but how do you know that? Are you telling me that the likes of Myra Hindley, and I can't even think of half of them, that were like child whatevers and Rose West and all them, that because they were born women, that it's all right that they did what they did to children?
Clock it.
Can you see where this conversation's going?
Yeah, clock it. Clock it.
Anyway,
right,
you'll always have a place over here, my darling. Don't ever forget that.
I love you so much, Vicky. And
you taught me so much about your community.
I know.
And I'm forever grateful for it. Love you
love
lots.
you so much.
See you later.
Bye, Vic. Bye,
oh, gorgeous. Bye-bye.
Do you know what? I love Vicky. She's been from the start of my journey to the end, like more or less, you know, and she's a very lovely lady. To get it, she's just gorgeous. Like, I know that a lot of people, you know, have got their opinions on people like Vicky, but I think Vicky's great. She's never upset me. She's never said anything. Anyway, that conversation's made me feel a little bit better, but I'm gonna sage. Do you get it? Thanks. We need sage. You know. This Neville, you've got 0 followers and you've made an account to say, so you're gonna get muted. Miss Faye, you're beautiful, just keep being you. And that's what I'll always continue to do. No matter what people want to say, no matter what comments people want to throw at me, it ain't going to make me change because I am who I am. Do you get it? And I'm not going to start changing my way to fit what people want me to be because I'm already going through what I'm going through. Do you get it? So I'm not going to change. I've already changed. Do you get it? I fucking changed a lot. You know, so... But one thing that needs to stop happening as well, and I've said this from the beginning, is dolls ripping each other apart because it just makes us look even worse. Do you get it? Like, when we can't support one another, people are just gonna, you know, run with that when they can't support each other. And it's true, you know. You know, a lot of us, it's like a competition, you know. I've had arguments and then people go, oh, well, at least I'm not a 6-foot Barbie doll, and all of this, you know. I'm not going to say any names, but that ain't getting us nowhere, you know.